2:47 p.m., June 6, 1906. Nome, Alaska. A bulldozer operator sits 4 seconds away from pushing $47 million in gold into a river. He has no idea. This is the story of the most expensive minute in history. One wrong move. 1 million ounces of gold, lost forever in the icy waters of the Bering Sea. This isn't just an accident. This is how the gold rush ended. If you want to see how this unfolds, please hit that like button. It helps us share more forgotten stories like this one. Subscribe if you haven't already. Back to Nome. 1906. The June sun in Nome never sets. Even at midnight, it hangs on the horizon, casting an orange glow across the tundra. William Barker works in this light. 32 years old, from Seattle. 6 months ago, he spent his last dollar on a steamship ticket north. Now he operates a bulldozer on a drainage project near Anvil Creek. The bulldozer is new technology. 1904 Holt Manufacturing model. A 7 tons, 60 horsepower steam engine, custom adapted for Alaska's frozen ground. The blade spans 2 meters wide, forged from steel and bronze. It moves at 3 kilometers per hour, slow but relentless. Barker has run this machine for 4 months. He knows every bolt, every lever, every sound it makes. Today's task seems simple. Widen the drainage canal on the west bank of Snake River. The canal measures 6 meters across, 3 meters deep. He excavated to control overflow during spring melt. Barker's job: scrape excess earth from the canal edge and push it toward the river. Routine work. But the west bank of Snake River isn't routine. This is Nome Gold Company's accumulation zone. Right here, adjacent to the canal, sits the product of 6 years of gold recovery operations. 115,000 ounces of raw gold, mixed with sand and gravel, a massive pile. 5 meters high, 20 meters long, 12 meters wide. CEO William Henderson, Nome Gold Company's operations manager, gave Barker his instructions at 7 a.m. Keep 3 meters clear of the canal, don't touch the gold pile, just take the excess earth. Simple instruction, clear instruction. Barker even took notes. 2:45 p.m. Barker sits in the bulldozer cabin, his goggles caked with dust and dirt, gloved hands on the control levers, the engine noise so loud he can't hear his own thoughts. He lowers the blade. The engine growl rises. 7 tons of machine begins to move. First pass goes perfectly. The dozer blade cuts clean through the earth. Barker turns, lines up the second pass, working parallel to the canal edge, 4 meters from the gold pile. Safe distance. Third pass, something changes. The ground is harder than expected, permafrost remnants. Barker gives it more throttle. Engine RPM climbs. The blade digs deeper into the earth. The dozer pushes forward. 2:46:30 p.m. Barker tries to turn the dozer. He pulls the left lever. Right track should lock, but the ground is slippery. Spring melt has softened the base. The right track slides. Instead of turning, the dozer skids forward. 30 seconds. Barker realizes he's approaching the gold pile. 2.5 meters to go. He tries to shift into reverse fast, but steam-powered dozers don't make instant transitions. The engine needs to cut power, release pressure, build pressure in reverse. That process takes 35 seconds. So Barker doesn't have 35 seconds. 2:47:12 p.m. The dozer blade makes contact with the base of the gold pile. First touch is soft, sand and gravel mixture. The blade starts to undercut the pile. Barker pulls back with everything he has, tries to kill the engine. But 7 tons of momentum doesn't just stop. The pile starts to move, slowly, a few centimeters per second. But it's moving. Gold, sand, gravel, earth all together, sliding toward Snake River. Henderson is in his office 80 meters from the canal, looking out the window. Hears the dozer rumble, normal. Then a different sound, a muffled roar, sliding. He starts running. The pile gains speed. 5 meters of gold mass reaches the canal edge. No chance to stop. Physics takes over. Mass times acceleration. The pile breaches the canal edge, enters the water of Snake River. When Henderson runs up, he sees a lake of golden cloud. Yellowish, brown, dirty water, gold particles catching the sunlight, dancing on the surface. Then they start sinking, wave after wave. Thousands per second, settling to the riverbed. Barker has stopped the Dozer, climbed out of the cabin, on his knees, trying to comprehend what he's witnessing. Henderson arrives beside him, says nothing, just stares. At the river, at where the gold disappeared. Snake River here runs 2 kilometers wide. Current flows at 8 kilometers per hour. Average depth 7 meters. Bottom is mud, silt, and alluvium. The gold particles bury themselves in this mud. Once they go down, they vanish. In 15 minutes, 80% of the pile is in the river. The remaining 20% clings to the canal edge, half in water, half on land. Henderson gathers his men. Shovels, buckets, screens. They use everything. Salvaging what they can from the canal edge. 6 hours of work. They recover 23,000 ounces. Sounds good, but the loss is 92,000 ounces. At 1906 prices, that's $1.9 million. In today's money, approximately $47 million. Next day, the Nome Gold Company board convenes. Henderson presents his report. Was it Barker's fault? Were the instructions sufficient? Were ground conditions evaluated? Was Dozer maintenance complete? The investigation runs 2 weeks. Conclusion. Operational negligence. Positioning the gold pile this close to the canal was an error. The Dozer work area wasn't properly marked. Safety protocols were inadequate. Barker gets reprimanded but not fired, because everyone knows the real fault lies in the system. But the gold is still in the river. Nome Gold Company launches a recovery operation. July 1906. 5 divers brought up from Seattle. Mark 5 diving suits, copper helmets, lead-weighted boots. Each diver can stay down 20 minutes, visibility 0, muddy water blacks out everything. The divers work blind, plunge their hands into the mud. When they feel gold particles, they fill bags. First day, they find 3,000 ounces. There's hope. Second day, 1,500 ounces. Third day, 800 ounces. Fourth day, 400 ounces. Yield is dropping because the gold is dispersing. Current carries particles for kilometers. Some upstream toward Anvil Creek, some downstream toward the Bering Sea. Every passing day makes finding it harder. End of August, the operation stops. Cost is no longer profitable. Total recovered, 30,000 ounces. Still lost, 62,000 ounces. Value $1.3 million. Lost forever. The Nome Gold Rush changes after this incident. Companies rewrite safety protocols. Gold accumulation zones must be at least 100 meters from water sources. Heavy equipment operators must receive special training. Every work area must be marked. Supervision must be daily. William Barker doesn't stay in Nome. Spring of 1907, he returns to Seattle, quits Bulldozer operation, opens a furniture workshop. For the rest of his life, he never tells anyone about that day. He dies in 1954. At his funeral, nobody knows about the Nome accident. William Henderson continues at Nome Gold Company, becomes general manager in 1912, retires in 1923, writes a book about Alaska history. In the book, he devotes 1 paragraph to the 1906 accident. Just states the facts, no commentary. Nome Gold Company operates until 1916. Total production, 2.3 million ounces of gold, but everyone knows it could have been 2.4 million. That lost 100,000 ounces stays in everyone's mind. The company shuts down in 1916. Reserves depleted. Snake River still flows through Nome today. Fishermen sometimes see glints from the riverbed. Gold? Maybe, but nobody knows. For over 100 years, that gold has rested there, deep in the mud. Eternal witness to 1906's mistakes. Today, in Nome, there's a museum, the Alaska Gold Rush Museum, one display case dedicated to the 1906 accident, old photographs, period bulldozer model, Henderson's notebooks, and a map. Map of Snake River, an area marked with red dots. It reads, Lost Gold Zone. Some people still search, modern divers, metal detectors, advanced scanning systems. But the mud layers at the bottom of Snake River are so thick that even technology can't help. The gold is there. Everyone knows. But nobody can reach it. What does this story teach us? Maybe this: the biggest losses don't happen all at once. Small decisions chained together. A dozer turning at the wrong angle. A pile positioned in the wrong place. A protocol skipped. All combined to create a $47 million lesson. Alaska still produces gold. Modern mines. Advanced systems. Safety protocols run pages long. But every operator still knows the Nome story. The 1906 accident appears in textbooks. Engineering schools study it as a case example. Snake River keeps flowing, empties into the Bering Sea, carries millions of liters per second. And underneath that water, deep in the mud for 118 years, 62,000 ounces of gold lie waiting. History's most expensive mistake. The treasure nobody will ever find. If this story moved you, please like and subscribe. Your support helps us preserve these histories. Tell us in the comments where you're watching from.